open this thing and see what it'll do.
Ready to rock this, bro?
Oh, hell yeah. Status update on the Mayhem. So I didn't work on it yesterday because I had to run some errands and stuff, but I did make some progress on it the day before. We started repairing a frame rail, so you can see this one's got a ginormous flange on it. Well, the plan is to you cut more than what you need all the way down, and then you lay it over it, draw your line, because the frame rail isn't exactly perfectly straight. It has a little curvature to it. So with that extra width, I draw my line, cut it, set it on there, weld it in place, then I'll just trim the excess. And then we grind down the welds and it will look mint. So same thing with this side. I gotta do this side today. Let's see. Actually, Wiley from Roadkill is gonna be here tomorrow. So we gotta film doing some stuff for Roadkill on this thing, which I'm probably going to, well, I gotta finish clearing the wheel well. We'll get the other, see that other frame rail piece will already be on. I'll cut the shock tower out for Roadkill, because they, of course, they want to see sparks and carnage. So, gotta cut, so they want to see pieces fall off of it. That's what I was told. So, if they would have been here like the first 2 days, they could have had all kinds of parts and pieces fall off this thing. But, no. They wanted to wait a few days. So now, this is actually getting close to the reassembly stage. The only thing left I need to cut off this thing is the shock tower, because the stuff up front, I can't do anything with that because I don't have the parts to fix it. What we could do is we could start, yeah, okay, that's what we'll do for Roadkill tomorrow. We'll cut the shock tower out, I'll notch the, or I'll clear the geez, brain fart, can't even talk right now. The regulator panel, I just gotta clearance it so it has a better line to cut, or to fill in place. I can mock up the wheel wells, and then we'll take the fenders off, which involves cutting Freiberger's masterful grill here, which I gotta see how they welded this thing. Well, good news, it's not welded good. So let's cut that off, because then we gotta pull the fenders off. And then we gotta straighten the course board. So, plan today, make a little progress so it's ready for Roadkill tomorrow. And you'll probably see some of that on their show. Alright, action. When they put the wider wheel tubs in it, they had this flange bent up so they could try and get more tire clearance, but now I've already pulled it down a little bit, but now I've got to kind of hammer dolly it to get the radius correct. So it's pretty much just a bunch of hammering. And when they bent it up and when I pulled it down, it kind of stretched the metal, so I'm having to kind of shrink it back into itself. got done fumbling around with the wheelhouse. That's in, it's sitting where it needs to sit. I've got it pinned in a few spots, that way it doesn't move around on me. And this is the part of the car that I have been dreading. Attaching all the cutout pieces back into the wheel well. Let me get in here and show you. This piece here is actually out of the C-Body Roadrunner. Now, those of you that are familiar with that car, you know that the passenger side of that car is junk. So the only savable part was the driver's side. So where this piece goes, let me get up in here. All right, it's probably a little hard to see, but this piece right here, see air between the wheelhouse and the roof structure? That air gap ain't supposed to be there. So I'm gonna have to hand make the filler piece I need to go in there. I'm gonna use this as a template. Even though it's a left side, I can mirror it to the right side. And then once I get that done, then I can burn the outer wheelhouse in, because the rest of the patching I need to do to this is all on the inner wheelhouse. See, there's two shells here. There's an outer and then there's an inner. Actually, the inner's right there. That's actually the wider one. So that's about 1.5 inches or so wider than a factory wheelhouse. So, ow, metal shrapnel around here. So yeah, once I get that piece patched, then I'm gonna pull the wheelhouse off, burn the patch in, put the wheelhouse back in, burn the outer wheelhouse in, then I can attempt to do the inner. And on the inner, this is cut out, this is cut out, this roof structure here that arches, that's all cut out. And actually the trunk hinge area right here, this is actually, I see this little notch right here. I had to do that because I kind of test fit the inner wheelhouse, just kind of threw it up in there to see what's all gonna hit. And this did hit. Because with the stock wheelhouse, that wasn't an issue. So now that that's notched, I'll have to make a filler piece to go from here to the inner wheelhouse. So patch, 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 patch. I've already patched down there in the rocker. They had cut the rocker shorter, so I lengthened out the rocker and then put new flanges on it. So that's all ready to burn in. And then I also got to patch the outer quarter panel. You can see the flange for the outer quarter panel stops right there. So then I got to I got to patch the outer quarter panel. Then we're going to put new patches on the lower here. All right. So I'm going to get to templating this out of some poster board, and then I can attempt to make it fit. So here we go. All right, well, we just finished all the filming stuff for Roadkill, got some scenes they wanted. Probably didn't get everything because we had a narrow window to do everything and it just didn't get a lot done, but hopefully they can make use of what we had done. With that being done and said, I can actually get back to rebuilding the Mayhem. So where I left off with was on the wheelhouse area. I need to finish making the passenger side wheelhouse roof structure support. Yep, that piece right there. All right, so I'm gonna get on and finish making this piece and hopefully get this installed today. I don't want to bounce around the car too much. I just want to start a piece, finish a piece, start an area, finish an area. So I'm gonna try and get this done. So, probably should note what I'm doing right now. I'm actually getting ready to narrow a wider tub. That's right, I'm gonna cut 1 inch out of the 3-inch wider tub. And the reason is, I don't wanna have to cut the frame rail. There's no, I mean, you can fit, with a 2-inch wider tub, we can then we can still fit a 14-inch wide tire. If you need more than a 14-inch wide tire under a stock body Charger, just turn it into a full drag car, because there's no reason to have a 14-inch wide tire other than that. And plus you're sacrificing frame rail strength and just welding the side of the wheel well to the side of the frame rail. So granted, you're just cutting 1 inch of lip off, but that 1 inch of lip is structure. We're wanting to keep that. So we're just gonna cut 1 inch out of the wheel tub and keep the 1 inch of frame rail. Stronger's more betters. And you can still fit a 14-inch wide tire. Do not need that big of a tire anyway. All right. Actually, wider is better, but 14 is pretty freaking wide for a street car. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. All right, I have been making some progress and also playing at the same time, so trying to play catch up now on Mayhem. Where did I leave off? I have no idea, but I will show you what I'm doing right now. So, I have finished making the patch piece that they had cut out of the Mayhem. So this is pretty much a replica that I had to make, and I'll even show you where it goes. Let me get under here. Hi, Sam. Nope, nope, nope. Hold on. Busy. All right, so let me get this guy up here. One second. All right, so we're inside the back of the Mayhem now. I have finished making the patch piece to replace all that has been hacked out with the Sawzall from those drag race wheel tubs. And it is in fact right here, this goofy looking batwing thing. But this is actually everything that was cut out. So I have mimicked the factory roof structure, and actually I'll show you where it goes. It in fact goes right, boom, there. So I will weld that piece in place, so that way the outer wheelhouse can, because since I'm doing this car with the quarter panels on it, I kind of have to do everything in reverse. So I will then put the outer wheelhouse on it, which if you notice, this goes right here. This is the outer wheelhouse. And like I was showing earlier, I have made the better, more awesomer, wider wheelhouse tub. Actually, I lied, it's not wider. What I did was made it to where the wheel can go straight up without hitting that goofy bump in the factory wheelhouse. So this, I made templates of this, welded it on, works perfect. All right, well, now it's time to burn it in. All right, I'm back. I got a better representation now. So I have modified the wheelhouse. These two wheelhouses are the same thing, except if you look, they're different now. This one I had actually I didn't widen it. All I did was make it to where the wheel arch went straight up and then over. So that way it gets rid of this factory hump here, because that's that much tire space you're losing for the wheel to go straight up. So now that that is done, it turned out beautiful. This piece actually sits like right there in the car. So that is officially where that piece is gonna go. And then if you're wondering why this is free floating right here, because that's where the inner wheelhouse goes. And the inner wheelhouse has also been modified. So the wheelhouse that was in this car was those big drag race tubs. Well, those have since been cut out, obviously. But when they did that, they cut the flange out of the frame rail, which is stupid. Do not want to do that. All right, so I welded that flange back in there, and we got 3-inch wheelhouses for Mayhem. 3-inch wider wheelhouses. Well, squeezing those into the car, I found that it requires you to cut the flange back out. Seeing as how that's stupid, and I didn't want to do it, I went the harder way. I narrowed that 3-inch tub down to 2-inch. So that has all been cut down, retigged. So now this 3-inch has been shrunk to 2-inch, which allows me to keep my flange, and you can still fit Mayhem's 14-inch meats under the car. So why the hell do you even want to run a 3-inch when you have to sacrifice the frame rail integrity? All right, so now that I've got done explaining that, doesn't that look cool? It's all done now. All I gotta do is just seam seal the inside of that sucker. This will be in today, hopefully, and that piece. Maybe even the inner wheelhouse piece, because I need to get the inner wheelhouse in so that way I can make the patch piece that goes to right there, the trunk hinge, and the rest of the seat brace that they hacked out. So, but I cannot do that until I have the inner wheelhouse in the car. Time lapse time. there's some more donor pieces from the C-body Roadrunner. This is the rear seat brace. I've actually gotten caught up quite a bit on the passenger side rear wheelhouse. I'm almost done. So I've got to patch in this piece. Here is the seat brace that will go like so. And then I have the rear trunk hinge bracket. There's Vlad with Invincible Machines. And then, yep, right here is the rear trunk hinge bracket. So after I get all these braces done welding on, then I need to pull out the donor rear seat pan, which is this piece right here. So as you can see, this has been cut out. And so I need to cut the donor piece out of the other one so I can patch it into here. That way this whole area will be complete. Then I have to move over to that side and do that side. But since I've done this side, that side should be easier because I will then have some of the templates I need, which actually I finished the wheelhouse. That's all welded in. So the wider wheelhouse, the taller wheelhouse, everything that Freiberger wanted is now officially into the Mayhem. All right, back to welding.